Hello, Vegas, and hello to my no longer punters. It's week 5. We already started off the week with a moneyline winner on Chicago. And let's do our little start off. If you have a problem with gambling, if you make risky bets and you're putting your financial well-being in harm's way, please, back button. Right now, seek help. We can't have you hurting yourself. As for week 5, we have 4 bets on the 1 unit line, which we'll go through quickly here. First one is going to be going out to the Jets in Arizona. Now, last week we saw Arizona go on the road to Carolina and fall to bits. I think that's something that we should have kind of seen coming. One, Budda Baker was out, and Budda Baker is the glue and the eraser that holds the entire Arizona defense together. Second, Matt Rule and Snow, they know the air raid better than any coach in the NFL except for maybe KK. Maybe. So when you saw the struggles with the Vance Joseph defense without their eraser in the middle, and you saw the air raid get slowed down by Carolina, this wasn't a big surprise. And I don't think that's a very good reflection on how good Arizona is. And the Jets, they're pretty terrible. Flacco's going to be starting from this week. A lot of the personnel decisions that the Jets are making don't make a whole lot of sense to me. I don't understand why they're playing Ogletree and Hewitt over Avery Williamson. Maybe they're slowly working him back in, but either way, the Jets are playing some terrible football. We saw that with Brett Rippon. I expect to see a lot of zone because they're worried about Kyler Murray, which opens up the biggest problem the Jets are having at this point in time. They're not responding well in the zone, and they are not tackling well. And when you look at the air raid and the spread out offensive line, yeah, you're going to want to get away from the interior of the Jets defense, but that's exactly what the air raid's going to do. They're going to get out in space. They're going to make the Jets tackle, and this defense for Arizona is going to look a lot better. It looks like Becton might be out as well, so the Jets offensive line, they've been struggling. Flacco's immobile. Vance Joseph's going to want to heat him up, and the wide receiver talent in New York right now, due to injuries and due to Mims being way too young, it's just a big issue for them. So I'm going to take Arizona -7, -7.5, whatever it is, for 1 unit this week. We're also going to go over to Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. Now, understand with Pittsburgh, their offense hasn't been firing on all cylinders, and one thing has been common in every single game Pittsburgh has played. They have been able to run down the throats of everyone they play. Philadelphia presents a different front. The front of Philadelphia is very stout. It's always difficult to run on Philadelphia, and that's what we expect to slow down the Pittsburgh side of the ball. Philadelphia offensively is just a train wreck. Even though they were able to win last week and put up some points, it was ugly, and this Pittsburgh defense is playing at a very high level. So we like the under 44 for 1 unit in that game. A couple weeks back, we talked about Carolina and the Chargers matching up and how the Joe Brady, New Orleans system doesn't like playing against this Chargers defense. Well, here we are again, and it's the Saints and the Chargers. Still don't like the matchup from the offensive perspective. We think that this game is going to be kept slow scoring on the Saints side, just a little bit kept down, just enough to make that the cover a little dicey on this one. But we also are still fading Justin Herbert. And last week, yeah, congratulations. You had a big game against the secondary that completely imploded. And Chicago would have run up points on them too if they didn't start the game off so sluggish. A missed pass to Robinson, a bobble by Robinson that was an interception by Davis, and then a miscommunication with Mooney on a touchdown that was right there. That slowed down Chicago just enough, or that would have been another 34 points that the Tampa Bay defense allowed. I feel this Saints defense is starting to come into their own. Last week, they allowed 22 points basically on the defensive side of the ball after Breeze gave a short field to them for Detroit for 1 touchdown. But I like what I'm seeing out of the Detroit offensive line, and I like Stafford a lot better than I like Herbert. So we're expecting this to be a game where the Chargers struggle to run once again, that Herbert starts to see a little bit more diversity in the coverage that he's facing, and not just man coverage that's blown like he saw against Tampa Bay. We're still fading him. We're expecting this to be a low scoring, so we're taking under 51 for 1 unit in this game. The last bet of our 4-pack on the 1-unit line is going to be going to Cincinnati versus Baltimore. Now, I said Lamar Jackson has been figured out. This doesn't mean Rivera is going to alter, and this doesn't mean a defense that doesn't have the slightest clue of what they're doing is going to be able to stop him either. This is good teams seeing how to stop Lamar, which caps their ability to win in the playoffs. Not the Bengals and not Washington. So this week you look at the Bengals and their run defense has been putrid, and their solution to this is to put Carlos Dunlap, one of the staples of their defense, on the bench and only on third downs because he's not playing well on run downs. Well, yeah, that's true, but that's also not the thing you do. So this defense for the Bengals has had a ton of issues, has really struggled to stop the run, and I don't think getting Geno Atkins back is going to solve it because this team has struggled to stop the run for years, and Geno Atkins had been there before. Carlos Dunlap getting benched, I don't think that's the solution either. And if you let Baltimore start running on you, they're going to score points. But also what we're seeing with Baltimore is the defense is kind of going through the motions. Last week, Washington got 17. Granted, 10 of it was sped up by bad turnovers at the end of the first half and the end of the second half. But Haskins was able to dink and dunk on them and put up 300 yards and complete a good rate of passes. The Washington offensive line is terrible. Well, so is the Bengals offensive line. But I trust Burrow to be able to move, to be able to find wide receivers better than Haskins, and to be able to dink and dunk. I think this Baltimore defense is kind of walking through the motions. So with the Baltimore offense being able to run and the Cincinnati offense being able to throw their dink and dunk passes and get something going and positive in the offensive game, 51 isn't going to hold this. I expect this to be a high-scoring game. I worry about the 12 that Baltimore and Cincinnati have on it because of the fact that I think Cincinnati's going to score this weekend and Baltimore is going to have to outrace them if they want to cover that 12 or catch Burrow in a young moment where he throws an interception that leads to defensive points. So in this game, we're taking over 51 for 1 unit. So in recap, Arizona will cover the 7.5. Pittsburgh, Philly is going to be under that 44 total. New Orleans and the Chargers are going to be under 51. And Baltimore, Cincinnati are going to put up some points. Over 51. We already started the week off right with a moneyline winner on Chicago on Thursday night. We have 4 units on the 1 unit line here. We'll have 3 more videos on the 3 unit line. Nothing pushy yet, but we are definitely on the right track and building up our bankroll. 8.9 units on the year, looking to increase that, double it this week. So make sure you check out our other 3 videos this weekend. Make sure you go below, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get those videos, push notification right to you. I love you guys. We need you. Stay strong, and I'll see you on the other side.